in that same status. As I said, man, kuna mas today in many schools today who probably even get watch this thing. Some of them even in colleges, man, they have been branded rebels. They have become. They have become, they've almost picked that identity. And parents wondering, so what do I do? Students wondering, what do I do? And we almost have a scenario where students are not sure what to do. The young guy isn't clear what to do. The parent doesn't even know what to do either. The teacher is saying, man, I can't raise a kid of this nature, man. That go home, could fail. And I'm just wondering, having been through, and I don't think there's a better person, man. 16 suspensions is no joke, man. Some of them must have crystallized to be expulsions, whether they were called or not. And here you are turning out. What do you want to say to that generation? And what do you want to, in fact, I want you to speak to those parents, and I want you to speak to those students, and I want you to speak also to those teachers who are probably going through these scenarios.
Let me start with students.
Yep.
Okay, sometimes pia naonanga ni story of priorities. Juu time pia penye mimi nilihata nilisikiza Mbogi. Nilifail kusikiza wazae, nikafail kusikiza kila msi. Na kani ningesikiza ile sauti moja inaniambia ni aje, you need to work hard for your future. Hiyo time ningetulia tu na niacha walimu washinde. So there's a boy Pastor T alikuwa na travel akienda maombi. Akaona mama anakoa kwa matatu, anakoa damu. Akamuuliza nini mbaya mama? Mama akamwambia ako na pneumonia. Ameamka asubuhi kwenda kuchukua nanasi marikiti. Auze mapema so that apate fees, mtoto wake amefukuzwa shule juu ya bangi, ampeleke shule ya mwingi. Akaambia madhe, mimi naongeleshanga vijana, nitakuja niongeleshe kijana wako Friday. So Friday aka create time kwenda, akapata picha mama imeko mahali watu wanachanga pesa. Akaulizwa what happened to this lady? Akasema she died yesterday. So time aliona kijana wake akasikia kwambia huyu kijana you killed your mother. Because kama ungekuwa shule umetulia, mama yako angepitia hiyo. And my parents passed through a lot. So I'll tell that young person you are there. Shuleni is a fail to understand, but we angalia dream yako. You can go silent because sometimes wisdom is also being quiet. In my last years of high school, I got a wisdom that sometimes si lazima ushinde. You can struggle with administration, hiyo vita utaishi. Sometimes you must not be right. Sometimes it is also good to lose because the dream that you're facing is too big than you. So sometimes calm down, wachana story yao. Then for parents, sometimes what every parent needs to know is that a school can expel your child, but you are a parent, you can't expel him from the family. There is a time mwalimu ameambia mzazi wangu mtoto wako atataifika form 4. My mama akamwambia, now wewe umeniambia hivyo juu nyinyi shule mnaweza mfukuza, but you see me I'm a parent, there's no I'll take you. So as a parent I'll tell you another thing. When God was giving you that child, alikuwa anajua you're the only person who is capable of raising that child, not any other person. God akipatia mama ya Moses, alikuwa amejua mama ya Moses akona ability ya kujipeleka kwa palace ajigeuze maid so that mtoto grow. And sometimes as a parent, it is good to be the only person who can believe in your child. In 1992, there was a race in Brazil, na kuna mtu alikuwa anakimbia mbio na alikuwa number last. Na mtu akiwa number last, aliinsist that hata kama ni number last, amekuja ndiye amalize race. Na akiwapo hivyo akihema akitry kukimbia, alikuwa number last. Baba yake aliruka kutoka kwa audience, akaruka ndani ya field, akamshikilia mkono mpaka venye walifika kwa finishing line. And that was a life-changing moment. The whole stadium iliwapea standing ovation. Because as a parent, you can be the only person cheering your child. Stand with your child in your messings. One day, even in their blessings, they'll remember you.
Right.
The last thing I'll tell is a teacher. If you are a teacher, someone said that someone is actually me. In another book I wrote that a teacher is like an angel sent in a classroom to speak to you in a different language with a chalk and their mouth. So a teacher akona power ya bring life into a student. Some of the watu unawafundisha wengine hadi hawajakula mtaa hiyo asubuhi, wengine wazae wanapigana home. Watu hiyo wanapitia vitu mingi kwa hii generation. Don't be a teacher, be an angel who stands before a classroom. Raise many children. One day there is a teacher called Dr. Christopher. Venye alikufa, more than 60 students walikuja. The students are the ones who carried the coffin. They are the ones who contributed everything, the medical bills. The doctors asked, where are all these students coming? The mortuary attendant akauliza, kusema because we were not students, we were children of this teacher.
Wow.
Can your students remember you after 60 years? Not because of what you taught them, because the value of a generation is not what you leave for them, but what you leave with them.
Inside of them, man.
Yes.
Wow. And you made a very profound one, man. The art and the heart of teaching, two different things.
Yes. Naandika book inaitwa The Art and the Heart.
Right.
I'm releasing it in July.
Right.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
So we need to watch out for that book,
Yes.
man. Eventually you finished and you've moved on to campus. You're now a student leader in campus.
Yes.
How is that coming?
Iko fiti kujiposition. Yeah, kujiposition. A lot of guys are telling me to run next year for president, although right now it's not the time for that conversation. The president of something called DC3, Daystar Compassion and Care Center, deals with mental health, mentorship, and also leadership. So my work is just to mentor as many young people as I can in Daystar. Na kushikilia na tu mkono tu na wasi. So that's also another different dimension, being mentored by Professor Laba Nairo, the Vice Chancellor. So it's a different dimension. I'm getting to discover now my leadership energies, teamwork, all these things. So hiyo pia ni tamu na inani package. My dream has already begun to be the president of Kenya. Ishaanza ijani. Pole pole. Every day is a training ground. And someone said you cannot train without training. Yes.
I want to come to the beat of clarity of direction. And Benny Hinn, you come through to me as someone very clear on where it is that you want to go. But secondly is the very deliberate nature of you seeking out for mentors. And I'm just curious how this comes about. And really, why have you even found it important to seek out for mentors, man? We live in a generation where the old people blame the young people. The young people have a problem with the older people. Mentorship is a very intentional journey. And there is something about you that has just decided to seek it out. Tell us more about this.
Mentorship ni journey kivyake. Number one, you can't be mentored if you're not humble. Shida ya generation yetu ni humility. Unajua mentorship ni kukaa mbele ya msemo mwambie mimi sijui, jifunze. Like sasa mimi niko mentorship when nimekaa hapa. The energy you're giving, I'm learning a lot on how I'll also display my energies on stage. Mentorship ni kitu yako intentional. You don't just approach mentors. One thing I've realized with mentors look at value. If it is not value, they'll see as if you're wasting their time. So I learned this art when I was sitting with them. And there's a time I worked for a very great guy in this country. Akaniambia,